Hi everyone, my name is Pigsy People, and today we're going to talk about what if deku had a quirk final part. I think, yeah, this is the final part of the series. Oh wait, no, am I in the final series? No, fifth part. This series is being longer than my usual parts already. Don't worry, I'll post a different one later. Not today, definitely not today, bro. This is just one thing. Last week I was not feeling posting today. Last week, sorry about that, but your boy's back, and he's ready to post another part of the video. So, let's get started. So we continue our story right after the sports festival, which everyone is picking their little test. I think, internships, yeah, internships, internships, internship, internship, yeah, internships, yeah. They're going into their internship. In last part, Endeavor did express how his quirk was kind of similar to his in a way, because his quirk also works on his bodily heat. So does Deku's, if I didn't make that clear already. His body heat, his body definitely takes after Endeavor's, kind of. Not fully, but kind of. So, let's continue. Deku, after seeing Endeavor's name, which was Endeavor Todoroki, for some reason, I did add his last name for zero reason. And Deku does say Mr. Todoroki because he is a teacher there, and he is one of the pro hero testers. Just think, sadly, Vlad King is not Class 1B's teacher now, since the second number, the second number, the number one, the number second, the number. The number second hero said, I wanted to work at UA, and if I'm not part of the top staff, I will not be working here. And since of, the USJ attack, they definitely need some more buffer guys. And they got the second number one hero here, so of course, Vlad King booted. Endeavor is now there. So there is Endeavor. He's now chilling. You just be chilling. Okay. Endeavor's now Class 1B's teacher. You already know these guys are, like, far stronger than they usually are, because Endeavor definitely is just not gonna neglect his job, so now we got even more stronger characters. Now, Endeavor does have to still go to his hero job, because that's his job. So, Endeavor does talk to Todoroki about that he's gonna have an internship with Deku. The hero guy's name is Deku or something? I don't know. Yeah, he keeps his name as Deku, because I didn't really want to do the hero talk, the hero names, because his name would just be the same. He called himself Deku because it sounded like you can do, you know. So that's his name. The Flame Hero Deku. That's his full title. Dun 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 dun. Kiss him. Kiss him. Oh yeah. So, Deku arrives. Endeavor greets him with a... I I saw that you defeated that guy who got flung into that booming brat. Deku is a bit. He does like go. We do go into his mind as like, wow, that's just dissing a whole student that you teach. Obviously, he's referring to Bakugo. I didn't really need to classify that. I just did it. Udo, 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 udo. Grab the neck. Punch, 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 smack, smack, punch. Kobe. So, Endeavor and Todoroki and Deku, of course, sit around a table in the office talking. Endeavor does inform Deku that their quirks are very similar, and he would like to coach him into keeping his quirk under cool temperatures, so he's still able to, move. He's still be able to. Stab, 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 stab. And then Deku does consider the advice and does take that into consideration. Endeavor already knowing that Deku is probably gonna become a hero. He does tell him when you become a hero, make sure to get as much sidekicks as possible to help with your quirk or to advance your quirk. Deku's taking some of it into condition. But he'd be like, well, shouldn't I give every person a chance to become my sidekick? Well, then Endeavor calls one of his sidekicks. The quirk is legit ice. How is that gonna help him? Ice makes your body slowly move. And Endeavor tells him that the only reason he brought her on is because just in case someone else had a fire quirk, she would be able to stop him to the point where his flames are stronger than theirs. He's all done. Punch, 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 punch. Poo, punch, poo, punch, poo, punch. Okay, sorry. Lost focus. But, let's continue the story. Punch. Okay. And then they hear a loud alarm happen. This is just the loudest alarm you can think. Just the loudest alarm. Okay, then they all get up. Some of the sidekicks are left behind to work on the assignments they need. Then Endeavor, Deku, and Todoroki run to the scene. Deku does think about someone he met in class. His name was Ida, right? So snapping his fingers like, yeah, it's coming to me. Yeah, Ida. he did look behind the scene and saw Endeavor a bit, not Endeavor, Ida a bit angsty, not by like edgy emotion, but like where he's about to snap his phone in half. Oh my heavens. Dun 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 dun. I'm Deku, after working with, after, of course, they get to see Deku. I think he did inform him about how Ida looked a bit angsty. And sneak. Grab, snap. I'm kidding. Bop, bop, bop. Slapping myself for how stupid I am. Okay, it's Deku. Alright. Death. Alright. Yeah. So, Deku and Todoroki do. Well, no, just Deku. Deku hits him with the flame boost. Of course, he is definitely as fast as Endeavor. Not as fast as him in the War Arc or anything, but like he's fast. He's quite fast. He keeps looking around. Then he sees a guy getting stabbed. It's native. And Ida hasn't showed up, so Deku just spins, shoots himself towards him. So Deku turns off the flames immediately, like halfway to the ground where he could barrel roll and he'd be fine. So he barrel rolls and hits him with a flash fire fist punk. Bonk. Then Endeavor. Oh, Stain sees this hero just randomly appear out of flippin' nowhere. Sustain after accessing the burn damage on his cheek. He knows that this is not a pro hero. But while Stain is thinking, he does recognize that this is definitely not the same. These pro heroes definitely do not know each other because one has a fire quirk and one is nature incarnate. It'd be very confusing how they'd be partners. So when Stain starts talking about fake heroes and real heroes, where the number 2 hero, Endeavor, is probably the fakest hero he's ever met. Because he's actually met him. Right? Yeah, he's met him. Deku starts explaining. Now he does say it. Like, I'm not gonna just not say it. Deku does say there are no real or fake heroes as long as they save someone. Actually, no. He does say that Endeavor is probably one of the best pro heroes, not because of fame, just because he wants to be the best, to save people. Because Endeavor, flashback to when they met in the hallway. Yeah, I excluded that scene for no apparent reason. Just wanted to exclude it for this specific moment. Endeavor tells Deku that since he never could become the best, he's hoping his son. He doesn't even pause. Like, he says his son, to become the number one hero because he realizes that he'll never be as good as All Might, but hopefully his son can surpass him. He's not as strong as All Might, and he has accepted that. But he will say that he will always keep trying until All Might is out of the podium. No matter how strong or as popular All Might is, he will become as strong to be able to save as many people as he ever did. Flashback over. Stain then just gets fully mad, just completely and utterly mad, calling Endeavor a good hero. So his bloodlust just flies out of his entire bodily system. Deku has no idea how this guy has this much bloodlust, just because he said one hero was good. This guy is so mad, his biceps rip his clothes. Bro, he's shirtless now. Hey, yo. My man is frustrated. My bro feels like he's going to kill something. Bro is now sword. Bigger sword. Bro, then he just stabs the sword in the ground. Breaks it onto the concrete. And then makes a giant concrete sword out of it. And he's able to lift it with super easily. Think that time where Zoro had a stone pillar on his blades. Now this man has one, but he's not even struggling. My man is fine. Deku runs at Stan runs at Deku, planning on busting his skull all over this freaking place. Of course, Deku's not just gonna take a person slamming a concrete pillar on their head. Deku, of course, pushes himself out of the way. And then, it's just... Okay, so Stain throws... When Deku's about to throw an attack at Stain throws a blade into the sky, which blocks Deku's attack from making burn damage on his face. And then his knife melts against Stain's face, which in turn melts part of his face, and now he has a metal scrap on his face. Then Stain starts even more swatting at this guy with a pillar, I might add, of cement. So Deku can't just burn the blade. It's just gonna become like black and charred, but it's still there. So my man is slamming things. Deku is just... Deku just keeps trying to dodge. Deku just kept dodging because he didn't want to get hit by a pillar of cement. So when Deku... eventually gets tired and his body's sweating because Wouldn't you if your body started freaking dying? It's like dying of pain. Bro is sweating his ass off. Bro cannot even concept the fact that he can get cold. That's how hot this man is. Bro feels like he's about to burn into ash. That's how sweaty he is. So, yes, Deku does proceed to get smacked by a motherfucking pillar of cement. I will keep saying it's a pillar of cement. He smacks the shit out of Deku. Bro is coughing out spit, blood, sauce, and vomit out of his mouth. Snot is just through his nose, and his eyes look like they're about to pop out of his freaking skull. My man hit him with a pillar, and they just threw him so fast. Like Deku was like looks like he's a bullet on a screen. And then he just slams right into a car. The car instantly explodes. Keep in mind this fight has been going on for like 40 minutes. That's almost an hour. That's 20 minutes out off an hour. Bro's been fighting for almost an hour. My man is tired. So expect him to be very weak. He didn't just immediately get tired. He had to fight for a long time before Stan could even land a blow. Afterwards, Deku is mood. Shibudat, sir, Mudat. Step, 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 step. Then Deku, of course, being alive, but almost charred. I'm kidding. Not even charred, bro. Bro has like slight burns on his skin. But those will definitely heal. They will not make any scarring. Then Deku rees. Not rees. He screams, bro. Man is screaming at the top of this guy's lungs. And then he becomes this, like I said last part, he turned into a fire golem, basically. A fire golem. Punch. So the kid then punches the stone pillar, shattering it. And then, the burning guy gets wings. Well, Deku gets wings, flaming angel wings. And then punches him into the stratosphere. Punches him over buildings. Over to the Nomus. Mind you, those Nomus were really far away. He punched him that far away. This is like miles away. Bro went flying. Punch, 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 punch. Then Deku flies towards Stain, making his hammer hand a punk. Another one. Then Deku makes a big fist, punches him, and then it's just a cycle of him. It's him going hammer hand, big hand, hammer hand, hit big hand, hammer hand. Sometimes big hand, hammer, big, hammer, big. Then the man starts flying. Stan starts flying, and then there's that bird one that definitely is one of Deku's bullies of his childhood. Like no cap, that's definitely him. In the beginning scene where there's a kid with wings, and then there's specifically one that goes specifically for Deku, even though the number two hero is right there, who was trying to kill him. Isn't that Sus? Stain hits it, and then something real creepy happens. Instead of the Nomu just uh dying because of the impact, it absorbs Stain, like in the most disgusting way possible. Like there's it's like he turns into a goopy bone glob. It's creepy. Like it hit right into his chest, and then his ribs pop out of his gut, grabbing him. But like his organs are also exploding after that, and then his body turns into like a gloopy thing, which then absorbs Stain, and but his mask falls off and lands on the ground. Then Deku, instinctively, because he still has, he gets out of the state, promptly throws up a lot. One by, what just happened, and because he got hit by a stone pillar. And then even something weird happens to the Nomu. The Nomu's body starts breaking. Like it starts like shrinking in on itself. And his eyes start glowing red. Like the whole eye is red. Then its wings stay there, but then it protrudes blades from its skin made of bone, like Baraka, grabs the mask from the ground, ties it over its head. Then it heals over its brain, the open brain part, and then looks towards Deku, and then speaks. You thought that could kill me? My determination to kill all fake heroes is too strong for you to just kill me like that. You fake hero. And now Stain is in turn a flippin' Nomu. So both their consciousness fuse together. In the second... Oh wait, actually, I could have made it way better if he said Izuku. So Deku then, in turn, gets a flashback from a person he used to know, which was the kid with the black red wings that he was actually really good friends with. He was really good friends with, bro. They were really good friends. Then Deku vomits. Not vomits, but like his brain like kind of snaps. Not like to the point where his brain kind of doesn't think. It could just opens up his cape, opens up his suit, pulls out a photo of him, Bakugo, and the wing guy as kids. Sheds one singular tear, and then burns the photo for a symbolic way for his friend to move on from this body that he's going to char to oblivion. Then Deku powers up. His mouth starts foaming with fire, and then he turns into his demon state. If I will explain the demon state. The demon state is where Deku grows immensely tall. His horns, the flame horns, grow out of his skull. Gets a tail with a hammer attached to it. You think Janemba's tail? Think that, but like with a hammer on it. And then man as like two nut. Then he pulls out, and then he gets giant claws, giant big feet, absolutely massive feet. And then Stain Nomu Stain. Okay, I'm gonna call him Crime Scene. Well, obviously Stain does bleed out. Well, I'll make a crime scene out of you, so I guess my new name is Crime Scene. Also, the mask on the Nomu breaks off, revealing he tears off the mask, which actually was connected to his skin, and it shows a very big smile, but not in a good way. Like in a way where I'm going to actually eat you slowly with you alive. Because he is a Nomu, and Nomus, I think, eat humans. Hey, that's not canon. I know it's not canon. Okay, so after Deku is uh, realizing this, he's on phase and is about to fly straight for him. And that's what he does. His feet light up, his wings shoot him forward while being flamed, and then he straight up punches him directly in the face. But instead of the normal going flying, it locks up and stabs him. Like right in the liver. Not in the liver, like in a lung. Since you only need one lung to live, it's alright. But not for the bleeding part. So then Deku then then after punching Stain with his right hand, left hand, no, right hand, right, grabs the Stain by the neck, then makes him pull out the blade with breaking his arm from the bottom, and takes, cuts his neck. Then takes out the blade from his arm after breaking crime scene's arm, crime scene's arm. And after Deku is lung, then after his lung has, been healed up from burning his open wound. Since somehow that's actually a healing property, and I'm not surprised at all because fire. So Deku basically has a tiny regeneration factor, but like not a great one, but it works. Then he flies. Deku then flying towards Stain. Well, Stain also being able to fly, he does fly right towards Deku as well. Deku slices the sand towards Deku's neck. Then Deku weaves. After that, Deku gets his flame horns, stuck in his blade. Then Deku swings up with his giant claws and then punched him into the sky. But of course, Stain, being able to fly, stables himself, flies towards Deku. Now, Deku cuts Deku's leg, which does heal after a bit. Then Deku grabs Stain's arm, the broken one, and then tears it clean off. Well, it's not broken it wasn't broken anymore, but like Deku grabbed the middle of his arm, like where the hand is and where the elbow is, right? Grabs in the middle of the elbow, where the elbow is, and then tore it off. Clean tore too. Not clean, like definitely has a lot of. It still has his bone on it. He just tore off all the meat and bone. The meat and flesh. Meat and flesh. Meat and flesh. After Deku explains that he's perfectly fine after not actually explaining that he's perfectly fine, but Deku does think that after his he thinks that if he keeps going like this, his body will eventually start burning because they don't talk about this, but Endeavor, if he burns up too much and his body starts, if his sweat glands have been almost exhausted, his body will start burning. That's a head canon, but like, it's probably not canon. So, Deku awakens, and he awakens. Stain awakens. But luckily, Deku doesn't have to worry about his fuck glands, dying. Because guess who got some blood on his knife? Remember that time when Deku got his leg cut open? Yeah, Stain, Crime Scene got it, licked it with his disgustingly long tongue. It was, it's like a gecko, bro. It's disgusting. He licks it, and he throws it. Then Deku freezes in place. But guess who comes in with the absolute clutch? Endeavor pulls up, then punches this Nomu, because he thinks it's just a Nomu and not Stain. Crime scene. Stain plus Nomu with wings equals crime scene. I think if he fused with any other one, he'd be called like uh, bl- uh, brute, bloody brute. But he's actually called crime scene. They could just punches the absolute booty. Uh, then Deku lays on the ground after his quirk is interned. Uh, his quirk just stops working after he got frozen. So now he's back to his normal self, and now he's able to, breathe. So he's like breathing in and out real heavily, while Endeavor is pressuring, uh, just completely and utterly pressuring him, pressuring crime scene. Crime scene is obviously sweating right, kind of not even scared. He's like more enraged at the guy he's been, fighting for in a bad way. Like he's fighting to kill him so he can get rid of him. I think it began after he saw Endeavor, being a terrible person in a, but not he doesn't know the real story, but like still he sucks in crime scene's eyes. Then crime scene uh reads so loud that Endeavor kind of gets frozen. Then a secret quirk that the Nomu had was I think it was. Well, actually, I think the secret quirk was like the secret quirk was if he screeched loud enough, he'd be able to bleed anyone's ears, even if the person had like was deaf. He could still make their ears bleed. So all for one, then put a mask over the Nomu, so every time it tried war screaming, it didn't destroy Shigaraki's ears. Luckily, Shigaraki is kind of already left out of the scene. Almost everyone's ears are like bleeding right at this point. So Deku is afterward, blinged on it. After he's regenerated, He then walks towards a water tower, shoots it with a tiny flame, and then he gets doused in cold, just below freezing water. But to Deku, this is just a nice breeze to him. Those nice breezes you have in summer. That's what he's feeling right now. So Deku's a bit. And then after Deku is feeling the very coldness, he burns out of it into his demon form, then flies toward crime scene. Crime scene, after screaming for a long time, and after Endeavor can't take it, and fell to the ground with his flames turned off, and he laid down. Punch, 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 punch. Punch, punch. Just grabs, uh, stabs into crime scene's pectorals, I guess. Then Deku clungs a fist and then makes brass knuckles out of his flames, and let's just start walloping on crime scene. Just wallop, wallop. 1, 2, mink, mink. 1, 2, mink, mink. Bro, just kept punching this man. It felt like it was like planned at this point. Every time he punched, it was perfectly coordinated to beat the crabs out of crime scene. So crime scene, after being his entire face annihilated, like his jaw is hanging, his tongue is flapping everywhere. His disgustingly long tongue is flapping everywhere. And then Deku keeps punching, and then he makes his claws even longer. And then he makes his claws longer, cutting through, going all 5 of his claws going straight through. He's going straight through him. Those claws, he has. Man, I'm explaining this way too much, but I guess you get it already. It's like, and then there's the claws I just explained for way too long. Curve, so even when Deku is hitting him with like big wallops with big hands, his claws always ring him back in until Deku breaks the claws off, throws him to the ground, flies as fast as possible towards him, puts his feet in front of him, blows flames from his feet and mouth at that matter, slams into crime scene's gut, which basically explodes his torso. Like, his entrails are everywhere. Crime scene's organs, of course. And then Deku, after looking down at him with his black, completely black face and his eyes purely red. No more orange, red. They're pure red. And then he breathes fire on crime scene's face, which is already completely and utterly mangled. But he stained healed it enough to say, as I thought, a fake hero would never kill no matter what he's done. Because crime scene, well, Stain killed a lot of people. Even Ida's brother. Obviously, Deku doesn't know about what happened, but he's still gonna kill this guy. Then he breathes fire on Stain's face. That basically turns his entire face to ash. And then crime scene is done. He lays down there, dead. And then Deku's body shrinks to the point where it's good, and where he can breathe. And then he sits down in a puddle of crime scene's blood. And then he stops thinking. He cannot think and does not know what to do. Breathes in, then breathes out. So crime scene is now dead. in quotation marks because obviously he's still alive. We're talking about a Nomu here. It can regenerate. So yeah, crime scene awakens. Like his body's gone even bulkier than usual. This is now a primal crime scene. Right now his wings are pterodactyl wings instead of bat wings. The mask that he used to wear is utterly gone. Like, actually, no. His mouth then turns into a beak. He basically becomes a pterodactyl, but with, like, panther claws. These claws are elongated for no apparent reason. Then, crime scene punches Deku so hard, his eye, like, almost pops out of his socket. Now, couple of his teeth, gone. Vanish. Finito. Has stopped existing. And then Deku just gets flung into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 buildings. And then is knocked out. I repeat, the main character is knocked clean out. He is not getting up. So that means all the side characters have to fight the main villain of this arc. Guess how that's gonna go. Endeavor tries to fly to primal crime scene. Crime scene pecks at his pectorals. Get it? It's a pun. Snap the fingers. Snap the fingers. But obviously Endeavor's not just gonna let him stab him, so he keeps trying to dodge until Endeavor gets stabbed in the leg. And then he just feels this disgusting feeling of his wound getting licked. Yes. And he still has his main ability where he can stop people from doing that. So now Endeavor is stuck in place. Well, Primal, which is a person that doesn't like to gloat and just likes to kill, is in front of Endeavor. The person he despises is about to cut him in half. Endeavor knows he's going to get cut in half. But Todoroki shows up with his OP Titanic iceberg. And they completely freezes. Then he completely freezes Primal Crime Scene. Crime Scene breaks out of the ice and is about to swing on Todoroki. Then Ida shows up. Yeah, that's not gonna help, but like it's gonna help block him off. Ida kicks his leg away since he never could find Stain. He doesn't know Primal Crime Scene is Stain. Because Stain is Stain plus Nomu that can fly. Punch. Yeah, it's just a tag team of Toto using his Fire Fist. Not the manga Fire Fist, just like a Fire Fist that can work. Just like Endeavor's Fire Fist, it's exactly like his fist. And it's, oh yeah, blind Todoroki swinging. He keeps swinging. Whack, 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 whack. Almost smacking the goofy ass in face. He's actually been punching him hard, which is barely phasing him, but it does make him flinch and move. And then, oh, and then it's also Ida kicking and kicking and kicking. And then And then oh, and then Deku grab uh we go into Deku's mindset that has been knocked clean out. He says he's like contemplating why he isn't up right now. He needs to be up. And then he symbiotically starts punching his brain to wake up. And then he starts knocked out. Deku keeps twitching, but like he's not waking up anytime soon. And sometimes so knocked out Deku is twitching definitely, but not moving in any specific way. And then Endeavor finally moves after a bit of uh, Deku Shoto punching him with an ice fist and a flame fist. And then Ida punch kick, reciprocal burst to the face, breaking his jaw, but it just regenerates after a couple punches. After they get tired and one tags. They keep tagging, until one of them is until they're knocked clean out from their own accord, not to one. And then and then and then uh, primal crime scene uses his wings to mess up their kicks, which breaks his wing completely. But then he gets an opening to punch Ida in the gut, which shatters his armor. Now just showing his underwear. Don't get all sushi with me. Then he goes flying, and then keeps flying, and keeps flying. They're on the main road instead of like next. They're in front of the road. So he just starts flying and flying until he hits a. Luckily, he breaks through glass and hits a mattress store, which oddly convenient, but good job. And he's still awake, but like he's like in pain. That one punch basically broke his ribs. All all the left ribs. All his left ribs. And then Endeavor, after seeing this, flies towards crime scene and then starts burning him. Primal crime scene is just being the most blunt force activity creature I've ever seen today. Bro knocked out the main character and made him contemplate his life decisions. Then a side character got so punched, his almost indestructible armor blown to pieces. What is this bullshit? And then crime scene after, Endeavor keeps trying to hit him with the flames attacks that could definitely kill him if he was in his regular state, in crime scene's regular state. But he's in his primal state, which is making him 10 times durable. And then they start tanking. Endeavor starts tanking his blows. Then starts tanking some of primal crime scene's attacks. It's going as well as you would expect, where his body I guess his shoulder muscle starts popping out of place from all the punches, and then Stain, knowing that he could get a kill shot, pulls out a blade and then goes to stab Endeavor into the heart. But of course, my boy Endeavor doesn't just take that, he just completely burns his entire body. He just turns into this flame ball. Oh shoot, I'm closing the time. Okay, let's finish this up. Deku wakes up, flies towards Endeavor in his complete demon state, and cuts him straight in half. Completely in half. In half. Completely and utterly in half. But after being scorched by Endeavor, Endeavor is glad that he got a person that could help him. And then Deku uh, kills him. Yeah, I'm kidding. Yeah, crime scene after all that hard work is killed by Deku cutting him in half, and then Endeavor scorching him to ash. Actually, then Deku also increases that flame to make it as strong as, let's say, Dobby's flames. They're as strong as Dobby's flames. That's how intense they are. And then Deku, being cool, he actually gathers the dust, locks it into a case, and then hooks it onto his hero suit. Now, Crime Scene is stuck into a tiny container where he can't regenerate. And sure as heck, after a bit of time, it has already regenerated, and it's already showing the pink, his red cloth on the side of it, and it's just an eyeball staring out. It's really creepy, and Crime Scene's still alive, but is stuck into this small container. So if Deku ever breaks that thing, Crime Scene is let loose again. And then Deku, after defeating Crime Scene, looks at him in the eyes and tells him, "You're gonna see what it looks like to be on a real hero." Then Deku hooks him onto him, and then they leave. After running towards Ida, after his entire ribs are broken, they pick him up, tell him, "Thanks for trying, and thanks for letting Deku recuperate." Then they both hug then everyone, Endeavor stays out of the hug. Deku hugs everyone, Todoroki hugs back, and Ida hugs back. But then afterwards, wholesome moment, Shoto lets go of their hug, Deku and Ida's, and then hugs his mentor. Not his father, his mentor. And then Endeavor hugs back, wholesome moment. We fly up to the sky, and then we see smiling, the kid with the red wings smiling at Deku for saving him from being stuck in that body. And sorry for making the video so long, but I hope y'all enjoyed. Like the video, subscribe. Sorry for rushing the final parts. For me, it's 58 and 4 minutes in, so goodbye.